What's up guys, it's Morrany here and welcome to a new video on my channel. We directly jump in at the Gobble dungeon. It is the next one on our dungeon rusher list and we got here 2 achievements. The first one is faint-hearted. I failed straight at the beginning because I had a bad positioning, so make sure you are not as dumb as I am. And my team is still in the PV set, so we got 3 MP. Overall the gobbles have 4, the royal gobble has 5 MP, so make sure to keep them on a distance to avoid the damage. Most of them can only attack in close combat, so it's pretty good to hit them from range. The royal has a healing spell which can be casted every turn, so try to focus 1 gobble per round, and if you killed it, then start hitting the next one and not spread the damage on every monster. The second achievement is Blitzkrieg. For me it wasn't possible, my damage wasn't enough to hit 600 in 1 turn, so yeah, maybe in another team composition with a rogue and a panda or maybe an IOP it could be possible, I think, but for me it wasn't. But in the end, no big deal for us and we jump to the next dungeon. To access the Kickroach dungeon you need the Rikiki wand. You can craft it for around 5 to 10 KK if you are a level 40 carver, or just go to the workshop and search in the book for one level 40 carver. You can contact them and you get the free craft, or you can buy it from the shop for around 20 KK. At the Kickroach dungeon we have the achievements Tide and Last. For Tide you have to finish your turn next to an ally. Pay attention to the parasite, he can do some big AoE damage in close range. The Kickroach casts a spell every 3 turns, which makes him invisible for 2 turns, teleports 6 cells, or summons a monster in 1 out of 3 cases. That means it could be that he is invisible, so like you see in the video, or he teleports 6 cells to your characters, or summons a monster, which was the case in the end of this dungeon. So as I said, he was invisible, so I started to hit the other monsters first, which helped me to achieve the last achievement. And it is not a big deal when you have a full team like me and the Annie is carrying you. After that we have to talk to Berliner Thumb again to complete the quest. This brings us to level 44 and all characters, and it's time for some new sets. The PV sets were very good, but at level 44 I think it's time for a new one. For the Craw I decided to go with the Toady set, Mad Tofu Cloak and 5 parts of the Windquack set. The Airborg has no stats, but it gives us a nice 5 set bonus, 1 additional range, some nice other stats, 10 agility and 10 vitality and some other things. In total 513 agility at level 44, I think not too bad. I changed the Fecker from intelligence to chance, therefore I used the Aquadala set. 1 AP, 1 MP, good chance and vitality is everything you need at this level, and I got pretty lucky by maging the cloak. I managed to get a nice vitality overmate with perfect chance, and as a second ring I used the ring from the tutorial because I don't have any other ring that suits. On the Panda I use a full Earthquake set. Also the Brock has no stats, but you gain 10 strength, 10 vitality and some other stats, and I think it's better than nothing. As second ring I use the yellow PV ring from the PV set before. and the Annie wears the full Fire Quack set. There I use the Gobble Ring to get some nice initiative because I want to start with the Annie first. After we defeated the Royal Gobble and Kickroach, it was time for the boostage. On the way to the haunted house, I decided to stop at the Keymaster and update the other quest to get the Ronnie and Shafa quest for later. And the achievements at the boss room are again faint-hearted and last. This dungeon is a little bit more difficult than the others because Boostage has a gravity and rooted state, so you can't push him, switch position or carry him. It makes it a little bit more tricky. He summons also a monster which removes 100 movement points when you get in close combat, so try to avoid that. When you kill a monster and Boostage is still alive, it gets revived at full health. If you want to do the last achievement, you have to handle that, and if not, you can just kill the boss first to avoid that, and it makes it a little bit easier. You also have to pay attention to the gargoyle. He has resistances in a random element, and when you kill a monster he gets a 2 MP buff, and sometimes he insta-kills. I don't know exactly when it happened, but in the past it happened to me. So if you know the exact mechanic, please leave it in the comment. I would really appreciate that. The other monsters are not a big deal. Make sure to kill the little summons that removes MP, so you not get stuck in a tricky situation, and stay away from the gargoyle and you should be safe. At the end of the haunted house quest, the panda, the Annie and the Kra are level 48 and the Fecker is 49. The Aquadala set gives a little bit more wisdom, so the Fecker is leveling a little bit faster. Last dungeon of today's episode is the skeleton dungeon. It's a little advice from my side. To get to the Magna Cemetery, you can use the secret path at the Rogue Temple, so you can easily get to a Magna and the cemetery. It's a good technique to save time traveling around the world of 12. We got 2 achievements here. Nomad, so you have to use all your MP, and the other one is to kill the Ronin Shafa first. Killing the boss first isn't so easy because at the end of his turn he creates 4 doubles. When you hit a double it disappears, and if you hit the right double and it is the actual Ronin Shafa, all other doubles disappear and you can hit them again and try to kill him. While hitting the boss, pay attention to the other monsters. The Draugur Shafa has a spell which inflicts 18 air damage for every MP you use. There are 2 of them in the last room of the skeleton dungeon, and you want to do the Nomad achievement. You can get around 160 damage every turn. Pay attention to that. It can easily kill your characters pretty fast. So a method to avoid that is steal range or block the line of sight, because they can just attack in a line of sight. So the Primitive Shafa hits pretty hard in close combat because he applies a negative water resistance. But if you remember the things I mentioned, it shouldn't be a big problem even with the achievements. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel and leave me a comment in the section below. As always, the sets are in the video description. Thanks for watching and see you the next time.